All right, teammates, we have a vintage grading batch here we're going to go over. These were put in at the $15 limit. There was 32 of them. It ended up being a little bit north of a $500 order, but to help with the revealing, we got President number 16 here who, is going to give us honest batch of grades here, Mr. Abe Lincoln. This is from the 52 Topps looking C-set. Kind of weird, kind of cool, kind of awesome. But yeah, he might get sent in at some time. That's pretty fun stuff. Anyways, going through leading off, we have got a 1969 Mickey Mantle PSA 3. Little bit of cabbage, but in the corner, but not too bad. Going right back at it, we also have another one, a little bit more creasing in this guy, and the grade reflects it with the one. Next we got Mr. October sneaking in here. Got a batch of these ones coming in. This guy gets a 3. Kind of see some creasing in that one too. Here we got a Mike Schmidt. This guy gets a 5. Pretty fun one here, 73. A little bit of a mark, but we did go through, as always. We get 4 in here that we're not able to get fitted into a slab, which is always a little bit disappointing. Go through, we'll take a peek and see these. We get a Pete Rose rookie, evidence of trimming. I don't know how they pulled that off. I mean, it looks pretty even to me. Yeah, a little bit rough. The goal was to go through and have them slab it. In the comments, went through and put in to authenticate cards if there was trimming or anything like that. They didn't do that. If anybody has any pointers for me on how you can get them to authenticate cards if they don't meet the criteria, that would be appreciated. But yeah, this one was not in holder. Next one, we got 63. You can see this one's banged up, just says do not holder. Off card here. And we got a 68 Mickey. This guy looks pretty good. And then the heavily coveted Jerry Kuzman rookie card here, alongside Nolan Ryan. So those are the unable to get graded cards. Moving on, this one was a nice fun little victory here. You see these guys there in the wild every once in a while. Here's a 1968 Topps game. They don't really go for much, too high a value, but this bad boy landed a PSA 8. So that's a nice one to stumble on. Same set, we got Hammer and Hank, goes through, gets a 5. Next one we got, the orders when you go through and open these up, I don't know how PSA organizes these things, but you think they'd all be in together because they were inserted together, but Mickey gets a 4 on this one. And staying true to it, we get another one that they're saying is the exact same shape with another 4. So we got two boxes with this order. That's the first half. Next batch sneaking over. We got another Mr. October rookie here. Reggie Jackson. This guy gets a 4. See a few of these guys. Next one here. Missing some paint, missing some paper. Lands a 2. Still cool. Johnny Bench goes through, generates a 6. Anything north of a 5 when you're playing with these old vintage cards, that's a big victory. They say they go through, if there's a card with a crease, they go through, they knock it to a 5 and kind of keep working down. So north of that, a crease-free card from the 60s or older, that's a fun one to get. So 6 on the Johnny Bench. Next we got Carl Yastrzemski. This guy gets a 3. This guy will leave on out here. This is the 60 Hank Again, you'll see kind of some poor cards, not that they're in the greatest shape, but again, it's a 1960 Topps Hank Aaron. I mean, some of these cards, even though it's a 1, it's just, you know, some cards deserve to be in slabs. Well, there's a lot of Kyle Lewis cards in slabs too, but give me the 1960 base Hank Aaron over it. Not to pick on Kyle Lewis either, but next one we got another Mickey here. This guy gets a 6. Again, kind of a fun grade on that. You go through, you look at the surface. If you go through and see it in the light, it's just like, oh, that looks nice. Mickey holds a World Series mark of 18 homers. Just good stuff there. Here we got the tough 62 Topps. This guy gets a 3.5 with those wooden edges. That's a good looking one. Just the corners are a little rough, but as is the set. There's 68 here. We'll see a little run of these guys here. 3.5. Here's a 3. Looks pretty good, especially compared to the 1. Yeah, a little bit of cabbage in the upper left there you can see, but looks pretty good for a 1. All right, next we got a 64. Gets a 4. Oh, love the old days where you'd go through, flip a card on the back, read the stats. As a kid, you'd go through and figure out what kind of player the guy was. Do they hit homers? Do they steal bases? What's their batting average? Fun stuff. Next, we got a couple 66s coming up. This guy gets a 4. This guy looks like in pretty decent shape too. Kind of fun. Here is a 3. Looks pretty good. Just some corner wear, not too bad. And if you're curious of what a 1 looks like, hard to hide those creases from the graders there. That gets a 1, pretty cool. These cards sometimes, I know the high grade ones go for crazy amounts and things like that, but some of these cards, they just, you know, they tell a story. This was in somebody's pocket. Some kid loved this thing. I mean, it's just kind of fun. Fold it up, maybe a wallet. Fritz Ackley and Steve Carlton here, 65 Topps. This gets a 3. Keeping the theme of our vintage darling here, 65 Mickey. Gets a 2. Say Hey from the 60 set. Gets a 1. You can kind of see the fold right there too. Willie, looking like a dude. Alright, next we got a 63 Mickey. Not centered the best, but lands a 3. Surface looks pretty sharp. Corners, they look how they look. Just cool. They just, I feel that these guys are just fun. Next we got another Yaz rookie here. 60 Topps. This guy gets a 4. And to close it up, we got a 61 Magical Season. 61 and 61 for Maris, Mickey's teammate, the Fargo, North Dakota native. This guy gets a 5. Oh, look at the surface on this guy. It just looks great. Not centered the best, but just looks great. So that's the order. That is what we got.